Hi there, Flosstube. This is Denise with Black Ribbon Studio, and as promised, I am coming on today with something just a little different. I don't want to call it a stitch with me because I'm not exactly pointing my camera at my work, but I did just want to take some time every now and then to simply chat with you guys while I am stitching. So I hope that you enjoy this type of thing. And I want to show you what I'm stitching on today. I think I'm going to title this Full Coverage Friday. And don't even really know if I'm going to upload it today or tomorrow, but I think I'm gonna call it Full Coverage Friday because I am working on African Woman with Peonies 2, which you might know is a stitch along that I am hosting on Instagram. Use the hashtag PeoniesSal2020. And this is what it looks like. And if you remember, I really haven't stitched on this in quite some time. I'm not sure what a good idea that is on a full coverage, but you know how we roll around here, right? So this is how far I've gotten so far. Only have the top left corner done. Some of this flower is peeking through, which is very exciting in my opinion for a full coverage piece, that you start to get to see the main event so quickly. But I have to tell you, for some reason I really got mixed up. Well, not some reason. Let's face it, guys. This is my very first full coverage piece that I've ever worked on. And, of course, there's a lot of confetti. And I got mixed up at one point. I'm not even positive that this flower is where it needs to be. I did frog some of it at one point, because, as I said, it was really getting to be a bit confusing. So I'm looking at the picture, and I wasn't too sure about this part right here with the green leaf. And then when I look back at the picture, I can see that I may not be too far off, because this green leaf is peeking through right here. So I have my chart in front of me. I have my, it's a good thing I looked at this, because I pulled out a Sharpie, which is not what I want to be using for marking at all. I want to be using my friction pen. But you see, the same color. And so there's that. So I'm going to use my blue friction pen to be marking off my chart as I go along. And I wanted to show you real quickly that, I'm keeping my floss on a bobbin. Most of you may know that I so far have only used DMC floss, which I love. I do hope to venture out into some fancy floss at some point in time, but as of now I've only used DMC. And so I'm keeping them on bobbins in this case, and this particular case came from Bass Pro Shop. As you can see, I got this from Mr. Ribbon, gave this to me. And you can see that I don't, there's not a lot in here, but that's because I don't tend to bobbinate all of my floss before I start my project. It's kind of part of my process. I bobbinate as I go along. I think, because I'm always just anxious to start stitching. So there's that. Now, I've had this on Hold on 1 second. Mr. Ribbon's phone is ringing.
I'll call you right back. Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, Mr. Ribbon had to get that call. Sorry about that interruption. Again, you know, we're all on lockdown. Everybody's home. And this is just the interruptions that we have in life. Let's see. What else? Oh, as I said, I haven't stitched on this in quite some time. And it has been on this Q-snap the whole time. So I hope I'm not damaging anything or making my life more difficult by having left it on the Q-snap. But I will, when I'm done stitching on this today, I will take it off of the Q-snap because that's not sitting well with me either. I thought I lost my needle, but then I just looked and I see it right here. So I'm going to take this other needle that which doesn't even look like it's the right size. I'm going to put this one back. I'm going to put this one away. You see how I have all of my stuff just kind of piled up behind me. One of these days, guys, I hope to have a craft room again. I used to have a craft room, and I don't anymore. And I'm kind of feeling the pain of it. So let me put this back in here. Even though I'm putting it in a size 24 needle package, I don't think it's a size 24 needle. But I can sort that out later. Put all that back. And yeah, I'm glad I found my needle, because when you've been stitching with a smaller needle, this size 24 needle looks humongous. It looks huge. So, all right. Oh, I know there was one other thing I needed to grab, and that is that I usually use clips to keep this fabric out of the way. So I'm going to see if I can grab those clips while I'm here, enjoy my t-shirt, and let me see if I can find some clips. Oh, good, there's some in here. This is where I keep all of my whips, in this little box, this little cubby box thing. So that's working out pretty well for me. And I just use these little hair clips. Nothing fancy. I dropped one. One of these days I will either invest in or make a grind guard for my Q-snap. But I'm also having a, I don't want to say really love-hate relationship with the Q-snap, because I don't hate it, but I'm just not, I don't think I'm still very used to it. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. So I'm just going to put my little clips on here to keep my fabric out of the way. And you guys could see that I did make an attempt to grid the fabric. I've never done that before either. So I attempted to grid the fabric. That has helped a little bit with this. Because again, I'm a first time full coverage person. This is the first time I've done it. I'm also noticing, because this was throwing me off there for a minute, that this is actually the end of the page, which is not a full block of 10. So I needed to just double check that, see what was going on, and see what the next color is now that I want to stitch with. And this is, as I said, guys, this has been pretty much of an experiment for me, because I've not been known to be able to stitch and talk at the same time. That's one of the reasons why I chose not to do this live, because I cannot imagine at this point that I would be able to stitch, chat, and read comments at the same time. I can't see that I'm going to do that. And look, I'm just raw, guys. This is the way I stitch. I mean, I don't put on makeup or anything like that when I'm about to stitch. So I do have some things that I've been writing down, like just random things that I just wanted to talk with you guys about. And I don't know if you know, but I love me some Facebook. And I think it's because I have a tendency to, I really keep, my feed is what I would consider a very positive feed. If a person is on Facebook all the time with a whole bunch of negativity, I usually just get rid of that, because that's not what I want to see. And it's your Facebook. You could do whatever you want. So that's what I do. Let me see. I can't figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. But anyway, I get such a kick out of things, and it seems like on Fridays and Saturdays, my Facebook friends get really wild, really funny, and I just love it. I just love it. I get such a kick out of it. So I wanted to just run some of this by you guys too. And so what I'm gonna ask is a question that was posted on Facebook, and it was, what was your most embarrassing fall? Now let me tell you guys, I laughed just at the question. I laughed so hard. I think I'm supposed to, okay. I think I found the symbol for the next color. Well, wouldn't you know, it's black. Okay, I think I could do that. I laughed really, really hard at that, guys, because my response to that was, there were too many to count. I don't know which one was more embarrassing. I was such a clumsy kid. I guess you would call it clumsy. Well, not necessarily clumsy, but I used to kind of never walk. I ran everywhere. And I would run and fall. Like, I was the kid that walked around all the time with my knees scraped up, because I just would run, and it just break out in a run, and lo and behold, I would fall. And so we had all of that. But then you would think when I grew up and became an adult that would calm down. Well, no, I didn't quite continue to run everywhere, but I still kept falling. I don't know what it was. My daughter calls it flinging. She's like, it's because you're flinging all over the place. I don't think I'm flinging, but but there may be a little bit of drama going on there. I don't know. So my daughter said when she read that and my response, the first thing she thought of was this fall that I took when we were in Disney World. It was just me and her in Disney World. I think she was probably around 10 years old. I don't know what happened. The bus came. We were getting ready to get on the bus to go to the park. I had on some, oh gosh, it was a combination of things. I was wearing, I think, platform sandals. And somehow I stepped off of the curb and down I went. Now I was wearing what I thought was the cutest little shorts, sat out of some shorts. I think they were orange. This is how much it sticks out of my mind. I think the shorts were orange. And I fell And I had on a tank top, and my tank top pulled down, so there was bra slash boobage exposure involved. It was a mess. It was a mess. I know that my daughter tried very hard not to laugh at me. All right, guys, I have to try to figure out where I am on this. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna say it's right here. So that was one fall, but let me tell you, there were many. There were many. Falling has been a thing. Thankfully, I haven't fallen lately. You know, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm 65 years old. I can't be doing all that. I know that I fell once. The most recent fall that I can remember is when I took my son to the emergency room. And, okay, I don't know what I'm doing here. You see, I told you guys, I don't know how to do this and talk, but I'm going to keep trying. Took my son to the emergency room. He needed to use the restroom, and he was sitting in a wheelchair at the time. So I got up to help him maneuver to the restroom, and somehow my foot got tangled in one of the seats, and down I went. It was incredible. It was incredible. So I was very, very embarrassed, and nobody moved, and nobody said anything. Well, actually, I think a gentleman helped me up off the floor, but of course, at that time, all I could think of was, you know, thank God I'm in a hospital. Okay, guys, when I'm using 2 strands, I love using the loop method to start because it's just so neat and it just makes so much sense to me. So that's what I just did. I just used the loop method to get that stitch started. And believe me, guys, if, like, when I come off of here today, you know, I'm going to go ahead and do, you know, my normal chores and so forth, but I'm going to be stitching on this for the rest of today. If I wind up having to frog this out because I'm talking to you, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know. But yeah, falling, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. And I don't know why I have just so many falling stories to tell. It's not pretty and it's not cute. Not pretty and not cute. So, I want to know, well, I kind of consider myself to be a pretty humble person as far as my lifestyle. You know, I feel like I don't really go overboard on too much of anything, but I do have things that I do consider myself a bit of a snob about. So for example, and guys, this is just, you know, let's get to know each other a little bit better. I do, for example, I love nail polish. You may or may not have noticed that. I love nail polish. But here's the thing. I love specifically OPI nail polish. Now, I don't consider that in any way to be a frugal purchase. But it is something that I treat myself with. And I absolutely love it. I'm wearing some OPI right now. I recently bought some, you may or may not have seen it, because I think I wore it in a couple of videos, but it was called Gingerbread Man Can. And I think part of the fun of it is, you know, it has such cute names, and then It's pretty, and their marketing is obviously their marketing is good because they kind of draw me in every time. And I used to buy my OPI nail polish at Sephora, and they used to be kind of different Sephora collections of, you know, it was OPIs, you know, made specifically for Sephora. And that was really a treat to me. And I, as you may have figured out, I love me a collection. I love a good collection. So I would go and purchase the entire collection. And then Sephora stopped selling OPI nail polish, and I pretty much stopped shopping at Sephora. Because what was the point now? You don't have the thing. You don't have the thing that I mainly come in here for. And you know when you're shopping. Uh-oh, did I do that wrong? I think I may have done that wrong. Hold on, guys. I think I made two. Oh, I made 2 stitches instead of 1. Oh, no, that's correct. Okay. So, you know when you go shopping for something, you know, in particular in a store, one of the things that happens is that while you're there, you know, it's like, while I'm here, let me pick up some of this and that. Well, I'm sorry, but Sephora doesn't get that from me anymore because they don't have OPI nail polish. I've seen some in Walmart, but it's, you know, that area is always a mess. I kind of don't trust the nail polish there because of the way the display is always a mess. So I try not to buy it from there. I did try to buy it from Walmart online. Actually, did I? Because the last one I bought that I was just talking about, I think I bought that. I know I bought it online. And I know I bought it on Amazon. But I'm trying to remember if Amazon fulfilled it through Walmart. I don't remember. They may have. But in any event, that's how I chose to purchase it. For the first time, I purchased my wonderful OPI nail polish online. Because when you go, I think what happened was when I went to their site, you can't actually purchase the nail polish on the site. They direct you to another place that carries it to order it from there. I think that's how that worked. I have to think about that and revisit it because I'm not sure. Not sure. So that's one thing I'm kind of a snob about. I used to call myself a perfume whore because oh my gosh, do I love a good perfume. Let's see. We have 2 there. And then we're going to do 2 right here. Okay. So far this is working out, guys. And it's funny because the way that I purchase perfume is, you know, things change so much. But I used to read a lot of magazines. I don't read a lot of magazines anymore, probably because of the internet. But, you know, a lot of magazines still to this day have the little perfume inserts in the magazines. And I always try them because I love perfume. So I try them in the magazine. If there's something that I love, I go to the mall, which I haven't been there in a while, as as I'm sure a lot of you have not. Go to the mall, try it on. I spritz myself with the perfume. Then I walk around the mall and do everything else that I have to do. And then if I still love it, then I'll go back and buy it. Because you really can't get a good sense of how the perfume smells on you unless you let it sit and percolate. You know, you may love it from the bottle, and you may love it when you first spray it on, but you usually need to let it percolate for a while before you could really tell whether it's suitable for you, because it all smells different on different people. No two people really have the same scent when they're wearing perfume. Skip 2 and do 3. Do you guys do that? Skip 2 and do 3. Is that the language? Is that the stitchy language that you use? That's what I do. So we're going to do 3 right here. And I am going to ask you guys to just hold on for one moment after I do these 3 stitches. Okay, guys, hold on for just a moment. Okay, I promised I didn't stitch anything in that little break, but I did grab my Ort jar. You guys want to see? It's just a little mason jar with all of my little clippings in. So I try to have that always at the ready. So where was I? What was I talking about? I was talking about going to the mall and buying perfume and stuff, and you know, all of that I think is gonna be changed for quite some time after this, if not forever. I don't want to say forever, but it's definitely gonna change. So, you know, what do? You gotta learn how to adjust and kind of go with the flow there. So I also wanted to talk about, I don't know whether you guys, you know, you may know, you may not know that, you know, I'm retired, and I kind of thought it would be a lot more fun than it is. Maybe I didn't plan it right, I don't know. But of course, the thing that I'm having the most fun with, I don't know what I just did with my thread. It's getting short here. But the thing that I thought, well, the thing that I am enjoying the most, of course, is that I have, you know, pretty much endless hours of stitching and crafting and that sort of thing. And I'm very glad that I no longer have to get up and commute. And I used to be, for years and years and years, I was a, I don't know what's going on with my thread here. I was a executive legal secretary. And I have to tell you, we always used to say that we needed to write a book because no one would believe some of the stuff that you just needed to deal with. It was a very, I thought it was a pretty decent career. It had many, there were many highlights. So don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be all sour grapes about it at all. But just when you think about some of the things that occur and some of the things that you come across and some of the things that you have to deal with when you are in that profession, sometimes when you think about it, you realize that even if you told somebody that this was kind of what was going on, they wouldn't believe you. They just wouldn't believe it. They just wouldn't believe it. And then when I stopped doing that, when I stopped doing the executive legal secretary thing, I got my real estate license. And, you know, I think when I came out of real estate school, I immediately sold several houses, which was great. I was very proud of myself. Mr. Ribbit is a realtor, and so we did wind up working together. And let me tell you guys, that ain't gonna work. That's never gonna work. So that career kind of fell to the wayside, and I have to say, though, I have no regrets. I have no regrets. So I wonder if any of you are retired and have some great work stories to tell, or if you've had like a really interesting job, you know, that people would not otherwise normally think about you having. So if that's the case, let me know. I want to get to know you better. Let me know what if you even if you are currently working and your job is something a little out of the ordinary that we wouldn't think about. I want to know about that. Because there is a Flosstuber that I watch. I cannot for the life of me remember her first name offhand, but it's X Stitch MD. Is that Shiloh? I think that's Shiloh. And I just think it's fascinating to me that she is a doctor and she cross stitches and does Flosstube. I just think that's fascinating. I just love it. I just love it. Because, you know, it just goes to show the people from all walks of life. Yeah. Like to stitch and like to craft and get a lot out of it, you know. Alright, so I finished that little black section, and let's see what's next. I don't know, let's see, let me go back to here, and I see these little triangle thingies. One of the things with a full coverage piece is that I like to try to use my like a full strand of thread whenever I can. Or, you know, as close to it as possible. You know, so that you're not constantly cutting pieces off and trying to work with that. But again, with this full coverage confetti, that's kind of difficult to do. So I'm always trying to figure out another way to do this so that I'm not left with little bits of thread to deal with. But the symbols are just so spread out sometimes, and I'm definitely not going to carry my thread but so far. So I'm looking at the next symbol that I should probably tackle, and there are like 3 of them. So I'm trying to decide if it's worth doing that one or not. Also, I had started marking this chart with a highlighter at one point. And so some of the markings that I've made aren't really coming through well. So yeah. Okay, so I can see what the next symbol is. So it's a little triangle, and there's only 3 of them, and I'm going to go ahead and do that because I don't want to leave a lot of spaces to go back to either. So that would be Beaver Brown Ultra Dark DMC 844. I think I've used that already. Let's go into the trusty dusty. Nope, doesn't look like I've used that one before. So that means I'm going to need to pull that out. I'm going to need to pull that out and get it all bobbinated. And so because of that, I'm not going to keep you guys too much longer. But I do want to find out, how's your Christmas shopping going? How's that going? I don't even know. I can't even tell you that I really know what Christmas shopping looks like for me this year. It's kind of all over the place. Look, I just pulled out all my floss so that I could find my 844. I don't know. I like to say that the majority of my shopping is done, and that was mostly done online, but I'm just not sure what the rest of it looks like. We took Maya out the other day so she could shop for her mom. I didn't want to, you know, have to go, but she kind of really wanted the experience. She enjoys doing it. It's kind of a tradition. She enjoys doing it every year. And so we did, and I was almost immediately annoyed in the store by the lack of social distancing. And so as far as I'm concerned, I don't really want to go back out there anytime soon. So we'll see what happens with that. But, you know, let me know how you guys are getting on with that. Are you done? Did you shop only online? Did you venture out into the stores? And if so, how was that? How did that work out for you? I'm curious to know what experiences you guys are having. And if you're holding up okay. Just want to know if you're holding up okay. I am looking through this floor. I was getting ready to get totally upset because I couldn't find the 844, but there it is, guys. Look at it. There's my DMC 844. Of course, it's not going to focus. I gotta try though. Nope, not working out. Okay, guys. Here's my next color. 844. And what did I say it was called? Something about beaver brown. It is Beaver Brown Ultra Dark. Thank you guys for spending some time with me. Please do let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this type of thing or not. You can absolutely feel free to say, I hated it. I just want to know how you guys feel about it. And I plan to record a Flosstube next week for you guys. I have some things I like to share with you. And enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend. And I will talk with you soon.